we saw what competition. More ways than one.
Literally.
Yeah.
So if you want to get a message across,
One
competition
left.
breeds that.
Agree with you, first of all, but that's why I think Hamlin, because he had.
I agree.
He did.
Of the offense.
He did.
And there are a lot of times, see, the big play. Make the small play. Stay within the frame of the offense.
Yeah, but that's also his offensive coordinator mindset too.
Well,
the home run.
I get it. But guess you're talking about that would help you a little bit. But we don't.
All right, let's go overall offense.
C.
Larry, I know you've already given
Larry already
given
his.
Y'all can give out all the goodies. Okay, I'm done. I'm done.
The professor has had it.
Let me say this. Let me say this about the grades tonight. Y'all are too late for this week and too early for next week. Okay, I put the grades in for this one.
Will you grade on the other side of the ball?
I will.
Okay, yeah.
I definitely will.
All right. We'll flip to that other side of the ball. Let's go defensive line.
I'm going to get a defensive line a B minus.
Okay, I can roll with that.
That's exactly what I had as well.
And that's universal headsets?
Yeah. Yes.
So disclaimer, the Fs were only on one side of the ball for Larry, and now he's going to grade individual.
What y'all want me to do?
I was with you with that.
I wish we had time so that you all could defend your grades for the offense, okay? As a dissertation. Because I don't know how y'all coming up with them grades. I don't.
I think we've been cautious.
Hey, Ralph.
Let me say this.
I'm glad he ate before he gave grades, because if he didn't,
I'm glad you all.
He needed a Snicker bar.
I'm glad you all had wings, because y'all are grading. Wings, okay? That's not what we're talking about.
All right, let's go linebacker play.
You know what? I saw flashes, where our linebackers really showed well. They really did. I saw them getting a little bit into the passing coverage. They got good drops.
Yeah.
And for the most part, they were sound, gap-wise and integrity with what they were doing. I thought that they played well.
I did too.
I would be willing to give them at least a B.
All right. I concur. Defensive backs.
I'm going to give them probably a C plus. I thought they did pretty decent. But then again, with the way the defensive line played and was making that young quarterback rush and throw the ball, I mean, anytime your defensive line is doing its job,
right,
cornerback's always going to look good.
Yeah, but we made some athletic plays.
We did. Yes. I mean, even like I said earlier at the end, the Volmar interception was exceptional. I mean, you win the game off of that.
Literally, you had everything right there in front of you.
Yes.
So I would give them a B. I thought they played really well in this football, because I thought Southern possessed a passing attack that could kind of hurt us a little.
Well, even on that play, and this is not to knock the young man, but we had a younger classman in there at that corner. Right. When the receiver released and he beat him, considerably, the quarterback overthrew him.
Off the ball.
Yeah.
You saw it.
The quarterback overthrew him, and at that time I said, oh man, we got to get one of those guys in there. And then the next play, you brought Volmar back in and you get the turnover. And so, okay, you got a minute something left to get it down the field. You don't have to go home run. The thing that it came down to, you don't even have to score a touchdown.
No.
You kick a field goal and you can win the game the way that your defense is playing and with the time you had left. dink and dunk, dink and dunk, dink and dunk. But we went backwards.
You should have been able from that position to salt that game away and leave no time.
Leave none.
But a field goal to win this thing.
Yep.
And it would have been a chip shot from where if you move that ball and taking the short route rather than trying to go hold it and lose yard.
And you end up still giving them the ball back. Absolutely. For them to end the game by taking a knee.
Yeah. I mean,
but again, we've seen this offensive coordinator before. He doesn't operate like that. You're talking about a normal OC. This guy's not normal. I mean, if you remember at the Grambling game, our quarterback ran a end around. He ran straight to the out of bound line, and we were like trying to milk the clock then.
Yeah, you're right.
I mean, we're just guys. We're not good coaching wise on the offensive side of the ball, and I find it very hard for us, being honest, with these two games left. If it comes down to us having to win it on the offensive side of the ball game, that doesn't bode well.
It's not going to happen.
It's not going to well. That would be something of an extraordinary nature where we'd have that good fortune fall upon us. Because we haven't shown it. It's not something we've seen.
You got to score more than 21 points this Saturday.
Oh, easily. Easily. Because this ball club can score.
Yeah.
And they can score in a variety of ways.
Total defense grade.
C+.
Larry?
I'm going to go B. Here's why. I'm explaining why. Our defense played consistent the entire game.
Yes.
They kept us in the game.
Even into the overtime.
Right, even in overtime. They kept us in the game, even though our offense did its very best to give it away. They stayed strong.
Yeah, I think the defense looks like it's starting to find its way, though.
It is. I mean, I think, to me, what I'm seeing is what we saw last year.
Yeah, you're starting to see shades of that.
Yeah.
It did,
Any update on whether we truly get the real DRS back?
Don't know. He came back. What was that Jackson State game? Yeah. But from what I'm hearing, it's still that shoulder's still kind of.
Well, I mean, you got to err on the side of caution.
Yeah.
No problem with that. I mean, he has not played for a full game.
Right.
So he's in line for medical.
For medical.
So I just thought that there might be an update on that.
Special teams.
I'm going to give the special team a A-.
If we could ever get any element of our return game, our placement, other than kicking the ball in the end zone, our placement from punting and kicking is solid enough.
Yes.
For us to be upper echelon. But we're getting nothing in the return game at all.
Then now they're starting to kick it even better.
Of course. Of course. Because we're not running anything unless Darnell's going to break it himself.
There was one time where, if he, I don't know what that's all about, calling middle return, but there's one time if he stays outside, it's nothing but green grass.
In fact, that should be his MO.
Yeah.
You take it outside.
Let the
coach call
Western Michigan is,
You go ahead and use your God-given ability.
Right. Get your award,
But these last 2 years, though, our return game has been 0.
Yeah.
We haven't done anything in the return. And for my history, Bethune always had an excellent return team.
Well, all during the Alvin Wyatt year. And then
Jenkins as well.
I'm saying even Jenkins as well. They excelled in that. And while we are so challenged in that right now, we got one of the great returners.
Right.
We just cannot block for him or whatever. The team is somewhat flawed.
I mean, it's almost as if we don't have a scheme. Catch it and run, or let it go in the end zone. It just doesn't appear to me that it's been that much effort is put into that game, which I think that's probably the most critical part of your whole outlook.
Well, you want to be
your special
strong in all
teams.
three phases of the
Yeah,
game.
of course.
And many a game is won or lost in the special teams area. And we've got the talent to be really good.
Right.
You know, in that area. We're just not, it's not coming together from the coaching perspective in terms of what the coach is teaching. Yeah. And then that translating itself to the football field.
That missed field goal hurt pretty bad too.
It did. But guess what? As
we should have been able to.
As what I said earlier. If we get on the 1 yard line and it's fourth down, kick the football.
True.
Every point matters. I don't want to trust getting stuffed again because we know what we're going to run. So take the point.
See, but even from that point of view, though, most of the field goals and extra points we kick are good if they're not blocked. But I even think that we need to be working on making sure he gets a little bit more elevation. I think that should be that should be an effort to work with him to get a little bit more elevation, because that's where his most of his get blocked.
Well, I think it'd be very hard for him to really miss one from the 1 yard line.
You think?
The 1 yard line. I think me and you, Ralph, we might be able to get it up there. Okay, from there. Okay, literally.
You think we can get it up higher enough?
I think we could.
Oh, okay.
You know,
all right.
Now I might break my ankle trying to get it up. You know, but you got to take the points. You listen. He kick a field goal there. We're 6-0.
6-0, and then you make them press.
Exactly.
You make them press.
That's why when you get down in the red zone, you got to take a drink. You got to get points.
Yeah.
You cannot let those opportunities.
I agree.
You know, particularly with as we are on offense, you got to get points, man. There's no guarantee when you're going to get back down there.
Yeah, because we're not a good red zone offense. We have no creativity. And with the quarterback that we're using majority of the time, he holds the ball so long, you can't be effective anyway. You only have a small area to work in.
Overall team play.
I'm going to give them a B-. I would give them a straight B, but we lost.
I don't even want to go to the left, bro.
I don't know. Ralph didn't hear the question, okay? He didn't hear the question. Sometimes you got to hear what the teacher's asking. There's no way.
There's no way he heard what I asked.
No, because overall, and I'm giving F. No, that offense. There's no way. You know, the best you could the best you could give them would be a C for me.
What did I give him? What did I give him?
You gave
B-.
Yeah, you know what I mean. Okay. Anything with a B associated, minus or plus. No, not for me at least.
I hear you.
Because what pulls the grade down is what has been pulling us down all year long. The offensive side of the football.
Yeah, that's what's hurt us.
And it will continue to do that until we fix it.
But I don't know why we didn't just go ahead and do a Florida State thing.
Listen,
we don't have that money.
When Daryl put that up on WhatsApp, that Atkins Fuller Atkins and Dugan were gone. Immediately when I read it, I said I don't need but one name to be going. and I'll be saying hallelujah.
Actually, you know, when I saw that, I thought, okay, so why is he messing with us?
I knew.
I actually got upset with that.
No, I knew when I saw the names. I knew it was talking FSU. But I was just wondering, well, why everybody else can do this? Why can't we do some of this?
Money, man.
Okay.
They do owe those guys, I think it's close to $7 million, in payout.
Well.
So that matters. I mean, I know they can do that. We know they can do that. But I truly feel that when the opportunity presents itself, that there will be those changes.
Well, like I told you.
Okay, so
like I told
you,
if
that doesn't occur, we'll be around your house, buddy.
Come on. With pitchforks.
With Daryl, like with Jerry, hope brings eternal. Okay? I get it. But I'm from Missouri. You got to show me.
Well, this is the thing, though. You as and I will say this as having been a head coach or still being, you have to. Recruiting is more than just winning. It's more than just winning games or having those, uh, having a great legacy. It's about who is your. A lot of questions are asked. Who's your offensive coordinator? If I'm a quarterback, I need to know who your offensive coordinator is, and I cannot no longer. Last year, I had to go off of, what was done at whatever the college was, Utica.
Yeah, Utica.
Now I got 2 years under my belt of, when I look at stats, oh no, my son cannot go there.
Well, my doctor has already said, if I don't give this up next year for this same show, he said, you won't be coming to my office again because you won't be on earth. So I'm not going to watch this again. I'm really not. Because what have I've said all along, and I believe this deep down inside. Teaching and coaching are one and the same. Show me a great coach, I'll show you a great teacher. Right. It's one and the same. It literally is. And so if I got a great classroom full of students eager to learn, ready to put forth the effort to learn, and at the end of the year, all of them come up with us, I'm looking at the teacher. I'm not looking at the
teacher.
I'm looking at the teacher.
Yeah.
So that's what's happening to us right now, if we're honest. Because we shouldn't be revisiting this same theme every week. We shouldn't have to revisit this.
Exactly. And then some guy sending us a note saying, hey, by the way, this other school just got 3 of their bums.
Yeah. Yeah, how about that? Literally. Guys, I'm going to say this publicly. Our kids deserve better.
Oh, of course
they truly deserve better.
Yep.
In some kind of way, that message has got to get across, to the coaching staff. They got to go ahead, all parts of the coaching staff. They got to step up. They really do.
Guys, this Saturday we face the Texas Southern. They come into this contest 3-6 on the season, 2-4 overall. Points per game for Texas Southern. They score about 20.56 points a game. So far on the season, they've scored 185 points compared to their opponents' 31.56. So as we alluded to earlier, you have to score more than 21 points to beat these guys because they're going to get 21 points.
They are a young, scrappy team.
Yes, they are.
And
Coach Dishman has those guys
right.
fighting.
They fight. And they scrap. They play to the whistle. They're going to get after you. And you're going to have to play to beat them. You're going to have to score some points.
Definitely. On the season, they have, on the ground, they have 1,255 yards. They average about 139.4 yards per game compared to their opponents' 1,702 yards, 189.1 yards a game. As far as passing, on the season, they've attempted 187 passes, completed 102, 5 interceptions. They average about 5.12 yards per attempt. Average per game, 106.33 yards. On the season, 957 yards of passing. Their total offense, they've ran 519 plays. They average about 245.8 yards per game. Total yards on the season, 2,212, 24 touchdowns. As far as penalties, they average about 53 penalties per game or 53 yards per game.
Right.
Total yards and penalties, 61 for 480 on the season. Now, one thing about it, the teams they have played have averaged more penalties on the season. Yep. So, that matters, especially when you're on the road and SWAC officials.
Yeah, well, you're right. You're right.
So,
that last part.
Yes, sir. Total time of possession per game, they average about 31 minutes, 45 seconds. So they hold on to the ball.
They're balanced. They try to be very balanced.
There you
Absolutely. Which is what you would expect from even as a first-year coach, but a professional coach.
Professional,
They want to be balanced across the board.
Yes. So that's what we have for Texas Southern. Guys, give us our game plan. Ralph, you start us out against Texas Southern. Alpha One staffing game plan.
Well, what I'm going to do with Texas Southern is I'm going to take what they give me. I'm going to use my tight ends in this game as an intricate part of this game, and I'm going to have my tight ends. You're going to have to stop my tight ends for me to stop going to. I'm going to get away from my tendencies, and not every series I'm going to run the ball to the left side. I'm going to, instead of doing that, I'm going to fake that. I'm going to throw it to the tight end. I think in terms of our defense, we got to pull them up a little tight, because apparently most of their passes are very short passes, and they're looking for yak yardage, because they only average maybe 5.1 yards of catch.
Right.
So they're throwing a lot of short balls, looking for the yak yards.
Getting it out of their player, out of the quarterback's hands quick, and allowing the...
Just like Clark University did.
Yeah.
It's a little short pass.
Everybody has it figured out. Except for one team.
Please don't go there. See, everybody got it figured out.
Oh, boy, you guys.
Am I right?
That's my Thursday night therapy.
Okay, on the defensive side.
Okay, so what I just said, they throw a lot of short passes. So that cover 2 zone that we run, we got to bring them. We got to bring one of the safeties up, because again, they kind of balance. So they balance and they go for the short stuff. So we got to bring the defense up.
Or do you take a safety out and maybe put a...
Maybe, like we did against Grambling, we took one safety out.
Right. And we played against it this past weekend too.
Yeah, that's what I would do. That's why we were saying earlier that the defense has changed things up and they're getting more aggressive. I think that's what you got to do against Texas Southern. I never forget last year against Texas Southern, we had them beat, and I think we fumbled the ball inside the 10, and the guy took it back 60 yards, 80 yards. So I'm looking for that kind of game this year. I think it's going to go down to the finish.
Can the offense score more than 21 points?
Well, we have one time this year. We scored 37. It wasn't enough, but again, it depends on how he calls this game. And I'm not sure if Luke's going to play in this game. I get kind of concerned with Cam holding on to the ball and taking sacks. So that's a problem for me.
Long wind up.
Yeah.
Doesn't help.
I got all day back here.
Larry?
I mean, literally, Cam has got to get that ball